What up, guys? Magnus Bestes here once again. Let's go. We have a new chapter in our $1 million secret videos. So basically, normally I do it once per year, and this is the time. It's been almost a year since I've done the last one. So I highly recommend you guys to check all of them in order, better ideally, so basically if you haven't watched them, the previous ones, I just recommend you just pause this video and go from the first one. So let's go, guys. So can you guess which secret is gonna be talked about in this video, what I have in mind? I will reveal it very quickly. Well, actually not so quickly, but I will first tell you that I was actually thinking about a different one for this video, but because there were like some situations that I realized this one, the another one is gonna be probably more important in this order. So I just switched because I have already those secret topics laid out. I like two in advance normally, but this one is new, and I thought it's gonna have to be right now before the one I was planning. So, and let me quickly just open a whiteboard. So Google whiteboard online, and this is also actually very nice. Test what's your competition, how people think the companies. You see, this is the first results of Google. So let's see if one of them actually is a whiteboard. So we'll open the first one, and actually I know already what's gonna happen because I've checked them, some of them. So this is not whiteboard. We need to close it. Second one. When I want whiteboard, I actually, surprise, surprise, I actually want a whiteboard. So this is also not a whiteboard. Canva, yeah, but they have a lot of, yeah, this is not white. I don't want dots. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I can do some settings here and there will be no dots, but I just don't care. I don't have time for BS. So basically I just skip it. Guys, this is your competition. You see how retarded people are? They cannot even give you a simple whiteboard. This is whiteboard with advertisements. I just don't want it. Yeah, normally maybe probably it would be enough. I don't want any I would like to ideally have it on the whole screen. Maybe there's a button. I don't know. I don't want to search for it. We don't have time for this. Where is whiteboard? Let's see. Click whiteboard. We just want whiteboard. I actually think I used it one already. Okay, yeah, I used this one last time. So, but we have dots here. I don't like those dots. This is not whiteboard. Let's continue. If we don't find anything else, we'll go with this one. Whiteboard. Okay, I don't want to log in. I just want online immediate whiteboard. So basically, the lesson already started. You need to take notes, guys. This is your competition. People think like this. They just cannot even deliver a simple promise. They make a website about whiteboard and they cannot do whiteboard. Let's see if it's gonna be whiteboard. So now you should feel like very, very satisfied because these people are your competition. So if you can be just a little, look now loading ages, 4 ages. So basically, if you can be just a little bit better, maybe you will do a website with whiteboard. You will immediately get, not immediately, okay, but easily, or not so difficult on the first page of Google. Okay, it shouldn't be so difficult if you. I don't want to sign up, so of course no. And look, okay, this is already so probably searching for whiteboard because they cannot find one. So basically, no whiteboard. Okay, guys. And I don't want to use something like PowerPoint, blah blah blah. I just want I trust there has to be something on internet. So basically, guys, if you're watching this and you don't have anything better to do, you can just make a website on on whiteboard. Simple whiteboard. That's and I'm sure I'm not the only one searching for a whiteboard. Uh, okay, yeah. So basically, we will go with the one I told you I used already before. Which one was it? Was this one? Yes, it was this one. Okay, so there we go, guys. We have some stupid dots here, but this is actually nice. You can and Control Z. Okay, guys. Sorry for delay, but actually, as I said, this is already the lesson in progress. Take a note. This is how easy it is to be better than your competition. You can just do something. You need to just be aware of what the customer wants. So when you do anything, any product, any website, anything actually, when you talk to people, just think about, be aware of the situation, what they actually want. Even when you try to sell something, put yourself in their shoes. If you try to, if somebody's trying to buy male sneakers, don't try to sell them women shoes. Okay, guys, I just want whiteboard without dots and completely white and ideally full screen. No buttons for full screen. Okay, let's start. So first, let's check on which point we are right now. So how many $1 million secret videos I've already done. This was it's always best to just go to my channel and find the playlist, $1 million secret playlist. So this is the first one in the series, and we have what, 1, 2, 3, 4. So far, four you are listening to right now is the fifth one. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the fifth secret to $1 million. So this is my whiteboard. It all started, long story short, I ordered a parking lot, closed parking lot for a few months over the internet, and I just was not satisfied with how spacious it was. So basically, I came there, and first they didn't even give me the space I saw on the photo. The spaces will look different, and they told me I have just I have just two options. So, and I didn't like them at all, and basically, it was a big disappointment. And but I was thinking to stay, but then I quickly realized that you should never compromise. And this is the secret, guys. I still haven't said the word, but you should never compromise if you know you want something. For example, the place was like this. Let's say this is parking place one, and then second, then we have a car. Let's put it. We have one car, and basically it was really like this. Oh no, it was not like. It was like this one car taking the all the space and the other car. Basically, it was very narrow. Okay, guys, and the statistics I just quickly calculated. What's the probability somebody is gonna hit my car over, for example, over the course of a few months? And it was like 30-40% in some cases. Basically, it was very possible that come depending on the traffic, like how many cars go and out and back. But it would probably happen that I would have a scratched car on some uh, side after a few months, and I just didn't like it. And it's reparations. It would need to go to the service and pay some. Actually, it's also expensive. I also waste time, and I just don't need it. I already paid it. It was a good price for the parking, but I just realized it doesn't matter if I need to pay even half. like 50% more on some other one, not on some other place, I would just no problem just go there. And you should always be like this. You should never satisfy, you know, work. You know, you should never level down. If you know like, this is your standard, you wanna be comfortable, no matter what you should, because it's also like stress and wasted time. And actually, I need to say again, the stress is, even if it was just about stress, you need to avoid stress anytime you can, because for many reasons, health, and you actually cannot even you can never escape the consequences in one way or another. And this is basically, we are finally getting into the secret word. I always try to keep the secret videos, like the secrets, in one word, so I had to think about the word what's gonna best describe what I'm trying to express over here, guys. And it's a word in the end I don't even really use, and I think most people who are not native English speaking, they actually don't even know what it means. But I'm gonna very happily find the exact definition for you guys. So let's go. And by the way, this is my MGB coin, crypto coin. Okay, so this discern, discernment, guys. Let's go. The ability to judge well, in short. So, and I'm gonna explain it my way and how I use it, guys. And so hopefully by the end of this video, you will have a clear idea on why I think this is one of the secrets to $1 million. So let's get back to my whiteboard and show you the discernment quality over here. So I didn't compromise. I just immediately knew I don't want this place. So you need to, in this situation, you need to also judge like the time wasted on getting another new place and the money. Or basically, if it's even like if it's like 50% more, you need to pay somewhere else, and you just know you can get the new place quicker, and you know you're gonna be there like for a few months. So it's just one time, no problem. You can just do it, and you'll be a lot more comfortable. So I just canceled this. It was pretty quick. I got my money back, and I simply reserved. I booked another place, and actually, that one was one of my favorites. But for some reason, I thought now it was like not possible for a longer stay. But yeah, actually, eventually, then I found a way how to do it, and it's like as I said, like 30% more expensive, but it's my favorite. It's closer to my apartment. Blah blah, everything nice. Now no stress that somebody's gonna scratch, hit my car, during the stay. And you know you don't need to be thinking about like then you need to go to service and repair uh the damage, because it's just statistics. You need to always check the probabilities. Actually, even on the street when I park, uh I sometimes I just leave I turn the wheel to the direction of some the next side. If I estimate somebody would you know likely hit my car from that side. Basically, maybe I'm like thinking too much about it, but it doesn't take any time. Just put it there, and that's it. So imagine the situation. The first parking looked something like this. You can see how at first it's like old. It was basically old, ugly. And first, of course, I need to tell you, on the photos, it was not that ugly and didn't seem old, so narrow. But in the reality, it was a little bit worse, and especially I couldn't have the places that were better. So it was just limited. So you don't want to get a place like this. You just don't need any additional problems. You have your job. You can just dedicate your time on better stuff. Save your energy, save your time, save your stress, save your health. You don't need to park on bad parking lots no matter what. Something like this. This is better, more spacious. You can see So you should ideally at least have something like this if you're gonna park. And now I know it looks like a lesson about parking, but you don't worry, guys. I will dive more into the actual secret in just a second. And but ideally, you want some nice new spacious airport style or shopping mall style parking. Nice face ventilation. Even this is like healthy parking lot. Nice, cameras. It's safe, and that's it. And in case you're wondering why it's important for me to actually have a parking lot like closed and surveillance there, cameras, because before I was not doing that, and basically every year, sometimes couple times per year, I had to repair the windows. Sometimes within 2 weeks, again and again, uh, in the places where I, the there's some areas where the crime is pretty strong in this sense. Like, you just break your window for even if they thought there's like 50 cents, they will just, for them it's nothing. They'll just break your window just to check it, and then trunk from the inside. So this has happened to me like too many times. So I just since then I just do this, close parking lots, and basically even though it's pretty expensive, I just don't care. So and now let's get back to my whiteboard. So and now don't worry, guys, no more talking about parking. And now quickly I'll just explain what I mean by discernment. So um the thing is, it's all, I don't want to go too much into like some metaphysical stuff, but everything is just about exchange of energy. So I could perfectly just be here, save a lot of money, stay in the old parking, and then subconsciously or consciously thinking about somebody hitting my car when I'm somewhere else, uh, and then it's so I basically in this sense I will lose the energy on this part. It's the stress. So basically, I paid for having no stress, and also I paid for keeping my standard, and also I paid for um, the future where I want to be headed. So basically, now I'm getting into the important part of this video. You should. There are people who are always in one group of people. For example, they are similar. That's why you can say everybody knows. Like, if you want to know somebody, you just check his or her five closest friends, and basically you can have a nice picture about the person in question. Or so basically, the reason is they have the same problems, they have the same conversations, they have, and it's like when one time when well, I don't want to go to details, but basically there was in short, there was there were chickens, and then there was a crow that landed among them, and he was you know hurt. It was hurt, so couldn't fly, so had to stay on the ground. And then it was just living with the chicken, and in a few, I don't know if it was a few, maybe weeks, months, it started to behave completely like the chicken. It even learned to do the sounds like kikeriki, like uh, basically like the rooster, doing everything like them. Develop the sound qualities, the color of the sound. The behavior was completely identical. So this is what happens if you are in the area, like if you go with low budget parking lots or anything, you will this is gonna be your future as well. You will hang out around in this area. But if you aim for more luxury, next level, uh, you will basically attract more and more the next level stuff. So basically, if you don't want to be here, if you don't want to be always having these ugly old parking lots, you should never stay in these parking lots. Of course, nothing happens if you stay for a few I don't know days, but you should always prefer the better parking lots. Um, so basically, now let me just erase everything. We don't need this. So what I'm saying, always go just level up and never compromise and never go down. You can, of course, it's like the charts. You can, it's normal if you just go up a little bit, then something worse. You need to accept it. But then you go up. Make sure you always have this in mind. Actually, the word for this video, for the fifth secret, I thought maybe it was even awareness, but I didn't want to use the word of awareness. I know everybody talks about, oh, awareness is important, but I just wanted to choose some more precise word. The discernment is more what I try to express over here. It's about the action, not just being aware that you have options and you want the better options, but you need to also act on it. So basically, that's why discernment. I chose discernment is the ability to judge the situation and act upon it. So you will not stay at some bad place. You will always think about going up. You can go down and you can plan to go down just a little bit because like the retracement is healthy in some cases. Basically, yeah, in some cases because, but that you will go up. And I say in some places because mostly you want to go like this. You want to go parabolic. You want to improve parabolic. So basically, what it means, you are consolidating. So you are secretly. You don't need to tell about your plans or talk about your business with anybody. You just secretly, you know, and quietly do your job. What's the best for what you do, and then suddenly you just release it, and it's parabolic success. And as we know from the charts, uh, if you go like this and then go completely like quickly up, and you keep your struggle, you keep your discipline, you do another one parabolic, and these are not easily tested, because here you have like nice pump, so you don't need to be like, oh, now I'm gonna have a like bigger trace. No, this is a pump that the rear basically doesn't go back. It's just pumping. So again, you do your job, and then parabolic, you just reveal everything. The competition didn't know anything because you were quiet over here, so you don't have movements like this. This would happen if you told your secrets or in your business around here. But if you just keep it quiet and go with this, actually, even in Bible it says like you should. I'm paraphrasing, like you should. It's better if you are quiet and then just wise. Be wise and save your words and go up basically parabolically. Because if you just go like this, of course it's not bad, but it's a nice trend line, and this gets visited sometimes even to like 50%. Now basically this is a nice lesson about trading as well. You see how it nicely connects to it. So discernment in everything is very important. So now I will also later a little bit I'll connect it more to the trading, how you can use it in trading discernment. But so now think about all the areas of your life where you should have this ability, and pay attention to and be aware of all the situations, because everything is exchange of energy. So instead of thinking about like somebody's scratch your car. Now you are free, and you think about it. And basically, it's actually exponential success. So, uh, because you are not thinking about some useless stuff or some stress, even though you pay more, you are always so basically, you know, now you have time to think about something else. So of your business, and also because you have less stress, you are you are healthier. So you don't take time from work because if you have, for example, too much stress and then it combines with some, bad weather and you get sick, and then you would lose the days that you could use for working, for promoting your business, for getting the progress in, you know. So this is what I'm talking about. You would just from this little action of stress, you would suddenly have exponential loss in the progress. But if you don't have stress, so basically you always level up. Yeah, you pay a little bit more money, or but basically you go up exponentially because you didn't get sick, so you had more time for your job. You felt better, you feel more energy, and you just go up and you go your direction. You want to go up, so you just go up. You never want to be mediocre. But the problem with if you compromise on on the quality of the individual situations in your life, like the parking, like the simple fact of a parking lot, it's very probable that you do it in different areas of your life as well. So, for example, you wear some old shoes, you wear some old clothes, you wear, and then this is the picture of you, and this is also how you see yourself in the end, because that's what you are. So, if you want to be something else, you just need to be that person already as much as possible. And now I'm not talking about you should be buying some expensive stuff, but you should uh, buy at least something that will make you, fresh, looking the way closer to what you want to be, and then somehow you will go this way. You will make it progress. But people, as you can see, most people, they just what they do, they're like this. They, they basically most people don't do much progress because they don't realize this secret, this discernment. They don't think about it in the areas of their life. There's like you should be having this mind. You should have this in mind all the time. In the smallest decisions, uh, every time you need to do some decision, always think if it's really the best thing you can do for you, for what you want to achieve. What is it gonna help you to get there quicker where you want to get? And not directly, it doesn't need to be like that. But if do you want to be that person? Do you want to have like old stuff, or you want to have just good stuff? So take it, because you don't know like how it works, like a truck, like, so you always want to be on the right track, in the right group of people. You want to associate, network with the right people, similar thinking people, and actually people that are, you know, on the level where you would like to be. It's not always easy, but you should strive. You should strive towards that, and don't let anybody let you down. Don't let or keep you down. And if somebody is dragging you down, you just need to avoid that person. No matter how hard it is, you need to make some um, difficult decisions always. And also, you need to think about the lost opportunity or the cost opportunity. So if you don't do something, then something doesn't happen. Basically, if you don't take this direction, if you don't take this opportunity, you don't know which opportunity you will have lost because you will not even have seen that because you just took the other way. But if you take one opportunity, then similar high level opportunities just get placed in front of you. So you just go up always. But so you need to keep that in mind. Opportunity cost. You don't know, like it's not on your radar, like what's behind that one step and then next and next. You just need to know, you need to have a good discernment and always judge situations correctly and towards what you want to become, towards your goal, towards the person you want to be in the future. You need to already be that person as much as possible. So you will not be buying expensive stuff right now, but you will buy something a little bit, something cleaner, and also the thoughts you will be having. If you behave like this, you'll be more positive, and you'll feel better because this is what you want, and some kind, basically you will attract. Simply said, you will attract your future that you like for yourself. So again, what I'm trying to say, like if you saved on the parking lot some money, you would basically not save anything. You would save just money, but you would lose it on the energy and on the future that you want for yourself. So basically, you would just stagnate. You would compromise. That's why you would pay uh, by your future. You would not pay by money because you would basically save money on the parking, but in the long run, you would not get where you want. Uh, more like the fast as you want. It will not be the clear, straight up direction. And then depends on like how many mistakes like this you would do also in the past. Uh, I mean, in the future, if you keep doing this and saving, trying to save money on every like in this way, like everywhere you can, basically it would be very slow progress. You need to always level up. That's what I'm trying to say. And so now let me connect also to some trading stuff. So basically, if you have opportunity to learn from somebody, for example, in trading, and you have options like will you pay for the course or you will waste time searching like the strategy by yourself, and you don't even know like if you can find enough about it, if you like where to look and if it's enough, and you will still have this feeling in your head like, oh, you are probably missing out on something still. You don't get the whole picture. But if you decide to pay, you just go, so just clean, just go there. Maybe you are not satisfied, but it doesn't matter. You didn't lose any time. But if you go the direction like, oh, you now do the big, research, and you'll just get, exhausted with many informations, a lot of information. So instead of like one straight line up, you'll just waste time. So do you want to be the person who saves the time and then can use the time for the business, your business, like the progress in your business, or you want to be like some small rat and checking all the corners, just to find some crumb. You don't want to be a scavenger. You look at the scavengers. How do they look like? Are they like, is it the high class? They are always the low class. The scavengers, those people who just go and spend the whole day just check, and being happy for like little. little coins they find, or little, like, this and that, throughout the day. They are, in the end, they are still just scavengers, and this is what they are making for the future as well, because they are improving in being a good scavenger. And so, do you want to be a scavenger? Do you want to, find always the free stuff, like small here, there, but never the quality? Do you want to be uh, this little rat, or you want to just go up and keep the luxury lifestyle? So basically, always aiming for luxury or for high level. Scavengers are not luxury. This is like the opposite. Scavengers are just, imagine a scavenger, like dirty, no money, and spends the whole day on, you know, small things. And then imagine somebody wealthy, or imagine, you can actually, it's not even like, imagine, for example, some beautiful woman. Can you imagine that she would go like with some ugly, poor guy? She always keeps her standard, so she just goes up. That's why most nice women, they are just, go up. They are wealthy. They have everything, not just the beauty. They automatically have also the money. One way or another, they will get there. Of course, you can have like uh, nice women and with no money, but this is rare, and it's their fault. Actually, it doesn't happen. So basically, you need to be like the nice, beautiful woman, and never compromise. They never compromise because they know they they will just need to, like, maybe search for a little bit more, some nice, rich guy, and they will find him. So why would they compromise? And he can be good. He can be even like Christian. It doesn't mean like money is like always bad. This is actually very. You need to get it out of your head. This is a very bad looking at things in life. Like money equals evil. This is just not correct. Okay, guys. So you need to be always like the beautiful woman. Keep your standards. Just go up, never down. Okay, in everything you do, just go up, and you deserve it. Everybody deserves it. But you just need to realize it. You need to have a good discernment, good judgment in the situations. You have a situation. You see somebody, for example, the beautiful woman. Meet some guy, or basically, they hit her up, on the street, and now she can either accept the date for some poor guy, or no, she will just say like, okay, bye, and then she will just get hit on by some rich guy, and even like nice and good and a Christian, and then she goes the right direction, the direction she wants, because she didn't compromise, because she just kept her standards. She expressed a good discernment, and she just needs to keep it. That's it. And also, so basically, once you have some money, you should always outsource your work. You need to protect your time. You need to save time, and you need to always dedicate your time to things nobody else can do. Basically, there are things you can do, for many reasons. So basically, those things you do. But anything you can outsource, just think about, like, can you outsource this? Can you outsource this? If there's like million things in your yeah, I know I'm mostly referring to business people, but it applies to everybody. You don't need to. It doesn't necessarily need to be a business. So basically, there's all these little things you need to outsource. Basically, you have kids, so they can do the job. They can take out the trash, and it teaches them, discipline. So that's a good thing. It's not like they are slaves. It's always good for you and for them. So you need to outsource stuff always and as much as you can. That's why rich people, they always Basically, they buy their time by buying jets. That's why they buy jets, because they don't need to wait on airports. They also keep the standard, as I was saying, their level, and they go up with the level. So basically, it's also like nice feeling to have a jet. You can boast, you feel surrounded by luxury, and you just go up and don't waste time on some airports, or and also it's quicker. So they buy the jets. They can do the meetings on the jets. Also, they don't care if they hire somebody who is expensive, because they know in the end they learned by the hard way that in the end they will save time and actually money. They will earn even more money. Even at the beginning, the employee costs more, but in the end, their business goes higher and quicker and exponentially, because one thing leads to another and another good thing. So always protect your time, always level up, always don't exchange your energy for something lower. So for something that doesn't lead, so that doesn't accelerate your progress. Well, and look, guys, even great example over here, right at editing my video. So you have, for example, ticked CapCut, my one of my favorites. And look, you can either be searching for some transition filter or effect, and in the free version, and now they made it really harder for you to find some free, or you can actually just pay, and it's not much. It's just 11-12 dollars per month, and you don't need to waste time on searching for a free effect. And this is these are not seconds, just minutes. They are minutes and hours of wasted time if you were going for the free route. It's not worth it, guys, because those minutes, those hours, you should use for your business, for your progress, for your family. There's so many stuff you can. Basically, you need to go up, always up, never compromise just to save some 12 euros per month. Because if you pay the pro, you can use any of those. No problem. This one. You don't need to search. So this is very important to realize in all these little situations, to have the right discernment. Don't waste your time, guys. Always use your time efficiently. And if you have actually, this is a very good business model of CapCut. You can actually take a lesson over here, learn from it, because of course this is what they were planning to do. First, it was like mostly free, and then more and more pro stuff. Basically, now it's really hard to find something free. But you can, of course, it's still a free editor, but not so much anymore. If you want some nice, effects, captions, stickers, so always take the route, the most efficient route, because you don't want to you want to always improve in your business and in leveling up. You don't want to improve in being a scavenger and trying to be the best guy to find the free stuff the most efficient way. You want to be the most efficient person in scaling up your business. Okay. And then one interesting thing that happens, that if you choose to go the right direction, so basically choose the quality and efficiency, you automatically your expenses go up. So that means you are basically forced to earn more money. But this is a good thing, because then you don't waste time. For example, the time you would normally waste, you actually turn that into something fruitful. You need to think more deep how to earn, how to afford that, this and that. So you are basically forced to improve, and so eventually you are forced to develop more your business, the area of your finances, and you will, because there's no other option. And then you will exponentially improve in everything and your whole standard, your whole level of being. And this is usually the effect of living or moving to a big city like New York, where everybody is, hustling, everybody, because also everything is expensive there, the real estate, uh, the living, just the living standard, it's higher, so you are forced to do stuff. And that's why there are so many differences between when you compare the standard of people living in some village or in a city. In the city, they are forced to use their brain more, in the sense like develop some companies develop more income, higher income, and thinking more about the money. You know, so basically they are very efficient. I mean, of course, statistically, so not all people, but most. This is if they wanna live a normal quality high level standard in big city, they need to have some good business or employment. And guys, in the end, I want to show you also some really short parts of some clips to show you that this is a really a good idea to have a good discernment. This is gonna help you in everything in life, and most wealthy successful people basically think the same way. So, and if you want to watch the whole videos, I'll show you three inside of three videos some clips, and so you can just search the title and watch the whole video. So for example, let's see this one.
Industry. Cannabis? Yeah, cannabis, correct. Yeah, I was the world's first billionaire from medical marijuana from cannabis. Actually? Yes, actually. So you're a billionaire? Yes, I hope so. Yeah. I go all over the world interviewing the most successful business owners, the richest people in the world. Could we get one quick minute with you real quick? Yeah, for sure. Is that okay? Yeah, as long as it's a minute. Did you go to college? No, I was expelled from school when I was 13 years old. You never went back? Never went back, no. But you ended up making more than 99.9% of business professors ever will. So what's a lesson about business you'd give to somebody that they will not learn in university? Give me a friend and I'll tell you who you are. Birds of a feather flock together. Break that one down for people out there. If you're around 5 drunks, you'll be the 6th drunk. If you're around 5 billionaires, you'll be the 6th billionaire. You can't fly like a swan when you're surrounded by turkeys. There you go. As a billionaire, what was the best financial advice that you ever received throughout your career? Well, it was from my father. My father said, listen, if you can earn £10, risk it to earn £20 because you can always earn £10 again. So in other words, take the risk or lose the chance. There you go, 100%. Did you take a lot of risks throughout your career? Listen, too many. He who dares wins. What do billionaires do differently from millionaires? What do you guys do differently? We don't work for money, we work for success. Now, as a billionaire, what's your best negotiation advice for anybody in business? I don't negotiate. What's that? I don't negotiate.
So then let me show you another one. This is about health.
You want to do both. You want to clean up your diet, and also you want to add this important microbe. It's a keystone microbe, as you know, and I had to look up what that meant. Keystone. Well, it's like that one microbe that affects.
Basically, these are my favorite doctors on YouTube, but really, I've been listening to them many years. So yeah, this is about gut flora. It's all about the microorganisms in your gut that basically create your immunity.
Everything kind of revolves around to some degree, and there's a handful of those keystone microbes. So you put that in there, and it changes. It helps the environment, both in the small and the large intestine. So, of course, I did the deep dive into it, and it's one. I think it's very important to keep getting educated on these things because I think because I do so many health topics, it.
And actually, in this case, I would recommend to start with kefir, because when you have the kefir grains, a milk kefir, it's easier. You don't need to be afraid that you did something wrong, because the kefir grains is a very strong symbiosis of bacteria and yeast, and they protect their environment very well. But if you buy some capsules of bacteria, you need to, be a little bit more experienced to make sure you actually don't contaminate um, the milk with other not favorable bacteria. But kefir is very safe to do, I would say. These are, of course, no health advice, no medical advice, but yeah. So just know that this is a very good discernment ability to take action on your health in this way. So of course, remove bad foods and incorporate good foods. And here I want to show you another um, example, and this is about the. I'm sure everybody knows Brian Johnson. He does some crazy stuff. Basically, now he talks about the resting heart rate. So what I'm trying to say here, by this showing you this, that you, as I said, you need to do everything possible to avoid stress, because a stress is basically influencing the whole existence of yours. And if you can limit the stress, everything about your health improves. And that's why I think you need to your discernment, the correct discernment, the good discernment this way is not to, for example, double speed the videos. This is what I was doing. I had to even download the browser extension because 2x speed was not enough for me. So I was watching videos in 3x and even more, 4x in some cases, and this is basically not good because, of course, it increases your heart rate, it increases your stress, and in the end, you are not saving anything because then you need to calm down by maybe a few days. You don't maybe even know it was directly correlated, but if you accumulate stress also from other area, you will pay the price in some way or another. So this is also, as I was saying, just exchange of energy. You either just take the time and watch it on normal speed, or you watch it quickly, but then you will waste the time like relaxing on in 2 weeks because you are tired and you don't know why. This is just an example. So actually, this is the I have it on my. So if I press D, it goes like how much I want. This is a 2x speed. You can see here. Basically, I can control it very easily. S is lower. So this is the X extension, the video speed controller, I think it's called. So what I'm trying to say, you should also just in this way, you don't watch like 2x speed. It's better to maybe skip some parts if you don't like it, but always keep everything calm around you. And it's also about the videos, or your voice also should be like slower. Try to slow yourself down. Don't hurry. If you really don't need it, just be calm all the time. Be quiet, calm, just relax, okay? So I'm gonna play some part of this video.
Give yourself around 60 seconds to calm yourself down. It's like lay down, take a few deep breaths, try to calm your body down, and then take that. Because if you don't give yourself that 1 minute, you're going to have an elevated heart rate because maybe you've been walking around or something. So that's your baseline. So like a practical thing we're talking about here is, let's say you listen to this today and you want to take this challenge. So tonight, before you go to bed, let's say you take your pulse and it's 60 beats per minute. Your goal in the next week, let's just say, is you're going to try to drop it by 10%. So you're going to try to get to 54 beats per minute by the following week. And so to do that, you're going to start with food. You're going to eat earlier and lighter. So start with 2 hours, move your way on back. As you move back, you may experience some hunger before bed. It's fine. It's actually, I really enjoy that feeling. So just learn to get comfortable with a little bit of hunger. Why are you guys laughing?
I'm just like. So basically, yeah, that's what I was. You get my point. Don't compromise. Also, in this way, keep yourself calm and relaxed as much as you can. Hey guys, so that's it for this lesson, the fifth secret to $1 million. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. And one thing, just leave a comment with the word yes if you thought this is something useful and important. And thanks for watching and have a great day.